what you're going through now for tomorrow. Y'all ain't helping me up in here. Because what you're going through only has a limited time. I said, God, how much time does it have? He said, your mature level will determine how much time I got to give the situation in your life. If you can mature quick, I'll let you get over it quick. But if you are like some of us that you don't pay attention to when God's trying to call you, Verizon, can you hear me now? God says, I will keep you in the first grade until you master the first grade theology. It only has a limited time. Now, that may be good for some and bad for others. As I look at seasons, I now look at them as God's promise of change. First, physical seasons. Physical seasons were created by God to mark time and to remind us that on earth life is full of changes. See, the problem with us is we want to change, but we don't want things around us to change. We want to remain the same. You cannot remain the same. It's getting ready to turn fall, and some of us will be stupid enough that in fall still will be wearing our shorts, still will be wearing short sleeves. Y'all ain't helping me up in here. It looks funny for somebody to walk out in shorts in 30-degree weather. That simply means you didn't change. Turn to your neighbors and neighbor, seasons will make you change whether you want to change or not. And there are some seasons right now where God is trying to tell you that you need to change your relationship with somebody. You need to change your friendship with somebody. People you hung out in the summer, you won't hang out with them in the fall. People you confide in the summer, you may not confide in them in the fall. That doesn't mean they bad people. That just means I changed my confide partner. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm changing. And people are looking at you because you're changing. Somebody said change is good and is working for me. If change was working for you, why are you fighting? Wow. Many of us fail to realize what we're really fighting is God. God is the one changing stuff. I talked to somebody and they said to me, God is the same. Yeah, can I pause here for station identification? I feel like preaching now. God is the same. You know why he is the same? Because he is and was. He always shall be. God ain't got to catch up to nothing. God ain't got to learn nothing. God ain't got to study nothing. God ain't got to be nothing because he's always everything. He is God. He knows everything. Before everything knew it was something. Y'all ain't saying nothing up in here. See, God don't have to change. Why would God have to change? If God would have to change, he wouldn't be God. That's why he's the same today and forevermore. But you and I have to change. Don't look at me like that. Once upon a time, you were small. Maybe you came in here weighing 6 pounds, 7 ounces. You don't weigh that now. Why? Because you changed. Once upon a time, you had 20/20, but now you got cataract. Y'all ain't saying nothing up in here. Why? Because you changed. Once upon a time, you had curly black hair, jet black hair. But now, because of time, you got gray hair. I wish I had somebody gonna talk to me up in here. Once upon a time, you used to take long steps, but now that your body has changed, you're taking short steps because we're the only ones that has to change. I wish I had a witness up in here. I don't see secretaries anymore using a typewriter. They use computers. Y'all ain't gonna help me up in here. Why? Because they had to change. I don't see her. That's why our food all messed up right now, because we use microwaves. Why? Because we change. And the church is the same, but we want to stay the same, but we want different results. And people up in the church got to be crazy, because the definition of being crazy is doing the same thing all the time, expecting something different to happen. Come up in the church, cussing out somebody, talking about somebody, looking down at somebody. That ought to change. That little baby stuff. I ain't mad at you. I ain't worried about what you say. I ain't worried about what you do. I'm trying to get my Jesus home. I ain't here for you. I'm here because I need God to make her. Turn your neighbor and say, neighbor, God is the only thing that stays the same. He don't have to change, because in him is everything. There's nothing that's high above him. There's nothing that's below him. There's nothing that can get around him. Why? Because he is God. Nobody can figure him out. Nobody, Pilate could find no fault in him. Nouns cannot find a name precious enough to name him. Birds cannot control his actions. Mathematics cannot calculate him. Y'all ain't saying nothing up in here. Words like stop, start, and finish has no reference to him. The keenest minds cannot compete with him. Y'all ain't saying nothing up in here. The grave could not hold him because he made the grave. Why? Because he didn't have to change. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, God is the only thing that don't have to change. But you and I, as the world turn, has to change. And I'm glad we got to change, because I don't want to stay where I am right now. I can't stay in the situation that I'm in right now. If I stayed in the situation, I'd be telling God, kill me right now. I need to know that in a couple of months, in a couple of weeks, in a couple of years or whatever, things are going to be turned around. Serving the Lord. How many of you know you've been serving the Lord, and it does pay off after a while? And not only do it pay off after a while, but God told me if I give up something in this lifetime, he's going to give me back everything that I gave up. Some of you said, I gave up my houses, I gave up my time, I gave up my money. Baby, if you gave it up, God says he's going to give you double for your trouble. Is there anybody up in here in this season know that God's getting ready to press some stuff down, shaking together, that he's going to give you running over blessing? So whatever you're doing for the Lord, I understand this. Do it for the Lord and don't do it for man, because man will make you quit. But God, what y'all ain't helping me up in here. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, you got to learn to do it for God. See, the difference between somebody doing it for the man, they'll quit when they don't like the way things are going. But when you're doing it for God, you will understand that the Bible said, after done all will stand with your loins girded about with you. You don't stand because everything is going good. You stand through the hell. You stand through the fire.